Greetings duelists, welcome to another video. As you guys already know, it's already been 1 month since the new format has begun. I've been playing and labbing and experimenting at locals to Lunalight Tearlaments. That has been my deck of choice for the format for the past first month. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to give closing thoughts. I'm going to show you like a final iteration to the deck and the results I've been having with it, and what do I think about Lunalights moving forward. Without further ado, let's begin. So for monsters, two Reno Hearts, Sharon, Halfness, Merly, 2 Tier Cash. I play 3 Chuzus. I still play the 6 Luna names. 3 Swamps, Zephyros, Cyberstein. That's 21 monsters in the main deck. I know I've gotten past deck profiles where people have been asking for the ratios of the cards and have been asking for the deck count. So I'm trying to make it easier for you guys, just telling you like how many cards are in the main deck and just separating them like by categories. So far 21 monsters. Spell cards: triple planet, triple tanky, triple goods, triple perfume, 3 super polys, terraforming, foolish, scream, poly. That's 19 spell cards in total. For trap cards, 3 Soliok, 3 Karma, and Serenade Dance. 5 trap cards. The main deck total is 45. Extra deck: Cross Chip, Sprint, Bujinte, Time Thief, Dugaris, Forstrix, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, Divine Arsenal, Chimera, Stapelia, Wings, Rokalos, Grapha, Mud Dragon, Exterio. That's 15 the extra. Okay, so time for explanations. So one addition that I did was I cut El Chadol Winda and I added Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. And you probably noticed that I cut Shadow Beast from the main deck. I'll get to that explanation. So as I played more and more games in this format against more decks, I just arrived at a very common conclusion, and is that people are not playing around this card. Like outside the only time I've had one opponent play around this was against a Trap Tricks opponent that had Arachno Kampa in hand, and hey, they held it just so they could prevent getting blown out by Exciton Knight. Outside of that, every single game I summoned this card, it was a blowout. I nuked the board of a Sorcerer player. I nuked the board of 3 Sprite players. I nuked the board of a Labyrinth player with this. This is a card that is not on many people's radar, and a deck like this one that can easily summon it, like with very much ease, pretty much warranted this coming in the main deck. The conclusion that I arrived with Winda is that it's pretty much win more. Like your deck already does a lot in its end board, especially if you summon like a combination of these fusions right here. So, like, just having Winda, like, if you got to Winda, you're pretty much already winning the game anyway, because it means you already got you got a larger place gone through. Um, in the main deck, I cut Tearlaments Meta Noise for that exact same reason. It's just pretty much like a very win more card. Like having another different form of interruption is nice, and having a card that helps dump your tier names is also nice. But the thing about it is like if you're resolving meta noise and you're solidifying your end board, you're already winning the game. So just having another card that does not help with consistency and just doesn't do well with like how the deck flows, just so you can add another layer to your win condition, is just not very ideal. Like milling it just to recur a Tearlament name is nice, but I don't think it's just needed. Um, so that's the reason behind cutting Meta Noise, and I cut Naturia. I cut Shadow Beast for the same reason. Um, like my replacement for Shadow Beast was the second Reno Heart, as you can see here. Um, so just having another level 4 body that can trigger your tier names and like pretty much you can open with it with another card so you can do your plays. Um, the fact that I'm running 3 Solix means that if I end up milling this, it also is beneficial. Um, if you cannot fuse or have anything to fuse with a tier name, worst case scenario, you can dump tier cash with it and it becomes like 2 extra mills. Um, but yeah, that was my conclusion behind just playing Rhino Heart. The debate you can make is why not run a third Kashtira. I just felt unnecessary. I access this card very easily. I've drawn into this card a fair amount. I even drawn both of them like a fair amount as well. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much like my conclusion with the main deck. Um, I just feel like the way the deck is right now, there's not a lot you can do to optimize it without making some sacrifices. Um, I'm still not a fan of Medora. Like, I shoutouts to Nash TCG. I showed him my deck profile last week, and he critiqued it, and he made a bunch of very fair points, including the one including El Shadow Winda and the one including Meta Noise. Um, Another change that I also made that I almost forgot about is I added a second Kaleido ship. Um, I noticed throughout duels that you, you you want to open this card or open a way to this card, and I'll show you why in just a second. Um, so before joining Nash's stream and him giving me pointers on like stuff that he can do with the deck, one thing that he brought up was if the deck has a consistent combo that can make a solidified end board, the deck is solved. Like, not only is the deck solved, but the deck is pretty much like a guaranteed top contender status or like very close to it. Just because you have a solid win condition that you can fall back on, uh, despite the amount of variance the deck has. Um, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to show the 2 card combo. Um, I'll be shuffling the deck because variance will be involved. Um, and as I show the combo, I'll give closing thoughts to like the deck itself and like the deck moving forward. Um, but yeah, because when it comes to like Tearlaments and any Tearlament variant, um, like there's not a lot you can do without sacrificing like engine cards. Um, so like you as high as a ceiling as the deck goes, like you can only do so much. Um, and I'm going to demonstrate it right now. So I pretty much power shuffle the deck. Here's the here's the main deck, and let's begin. Then I'm going to normal the Kaleido. I'm going to use this effect. We're going to dump specifically Yellow Martin. Yellow Martin is in the graveyard. We're going to activate Perfume. Perfume brings back the Yellow Martin. This goes to grave. You're going to overlay these two. You're going to make Force Strikes. Force Strikes effect, you'll specifically detach Kaleido. And you're going to add Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. Next, you're going to banish Lunalight Perfume, and you're going to discard as cost the Blackwing Zephyros. With those two, with that being done, you're going to add to your hand Lunalight Tiger. You're going to activate Lunalight Tiger in the scale, and you're going to bring back Kaleido. You're going to do Kaleido's effect, and with it you'll specifically discard send for cost Lunalight Black Sheep. What we're going to do now is we're going to link away these two, and we're going to summon Cross Sheep. Next, we're going to activate Yellow Martin's effect, spinning back to hand the Lunalight Tiger, and this will get summoned. Tiger will activate in the scale, and you're going to bring back Kaleido. So this is the part where variance comes into play. Your end board will vary depending on what you mill and what you have on the rest of your hand. So you have a plethora of options, because worst case scenario, you can make a rank 4, then bounce this for Zephyros. Then you activate, you bring back Black Sheep. Black Sheep will turn into Sprint, and you can dump Merly with the Sprint, and then the Sprint and the Merly will fuse for another name. In this specific instance, it's now going to just be Mud Dragon of the Swamp. And then you can summon something on the Cross Sheep, and then Cross Sheep will trigger. That is the pretty much worst case scenario. That being said, we're going to overlay these two into the Bujin. We're going to the last one, shuffle into the main deck. And the whole demonstration behind this is just to show you how significantly the combo can change, or the lines can change from here, depending on what you mill. Then or what cards you have in your hand. In the off chance you have cards in your hand that can work for variance, you can summon Dugaris instead of the Bujin. So let's mill 5. So we Foolish for Merly and we Foolish for Reinhardt. This already does a little bit because it means that if you want to trigger Merly, you cannot do Sprint. However, since Merly was milled, you can trigger off Merly and you can do something else. So that being said, we're going to resolve Merly's effect. We're not going to resolve Reinhardt because, again, this is a 2-card combo. We do not know our hand. So that being said, you're going to spin this back to the extra deck. This goes to the bottom of the deck. And you will end up summoning Mud Dragon of the Swamp. This goes to grave. Now we'll do Blackwing. This goes back to hand. Blackwing is summoned. You activate the Tiger. Tiger will trigger. Trigger bringing back the cross sheep, the black sheep. You're going to link these two away into Sprint. And since you have a fusion on board underneath cross sheep, you have the Cyberstein combo, which pretty much is cross sheep chaining 1, Sprint chaining 2. So Cyberstein gets summoned, and then you could do Cyberstein's effect, either for Grapha or Exterio. You can summon Kaleido if Rokalos, but she won't have her summon effect from graveyard. So yeah, this is at the point that we're at now, like with the deck, like as I mentioned before, if this ever gets solved, or if there's like a very solid combo that guarantees you this board without a lot of variance, then the deck is pretty much like, it's going to be a very shoe-in for like as a more superior Lunalight, Tearlaments variant than other variants that are available. So closing thoughts. I think this is as optimized as the deck gets. Like, there are very minimal changes you can do to this strategy at this current moment. Like, again, you do have a plethora of options. Like, for example, you can play Appaloosa above the Goddess instead of Exciton Knight, and that could be part of your end board. Since I'm playing multiple Reinhardts now, you can make the argument of playing like Kaleido Heart, the level 9 fusion. My issue with Kaleido Heart is that it requires 3 monsters, and 2 of them has to be aquas. So like, with so little tier names now, all of them be limited, it's not easy to do without coming into the board. Like, good. Like, the deck has to already be rolling for that to be part of your end board. And I want to be as minimalistic as possible when it comes to this deck, because there are so many lines that you can do and so much variance can happen. So this will probably be my last Lunalight deck profile. I'll be moving towards another deck now at the next month, and I'll probably be optimizing and playing that deck, and we'll see what it happens moving forward. I hope you enjoyed this content so far. I hope you enjoyed this deck theory. And yeah, keep practicing and keep dueling.